Good morning all and welcome to my video for this week of slightly obscure title, but if you stick with me long enough, I'm hoping that all will become clear. The inspiration for this video came from Shock Horror, an article that I read, this time posted by Jez Hopkins on his Twitter feed. So Jez Hopkins, formerly Operations Director at Riverview Law and is now Legal Project Manager at Baker McKenzie. Thoroughly intelligent and nice chap from what I gather, and he writes a really interesting blog which is broadly tech themed, which I will also link along with the article in the description below. So this article was about the big four accountancy firms providing legal services, which we now know they can do by virtue of the Legal Services Act. Now, I've covered this issue in other videos, particularly this one up here, which I definitely suggest that you watch because it's one of my faves. So I'm not going to go into too much detail now, but I can summarise by saying that the big four accountancy firms, lots of money, lots of clients, lots of resources, flexible business model that potentially allows them to provide legal services much more efficiently and cheaply than traditional law firms. Super bueno for clients. Traditional law firms, traditional by their very nature, some might even say old school, expensive to run and restricted by the billable hours model, which inherently makes it a little bit more expensive for clients. Not so bueno for consumers and clients. So, in theory, clients should be flocking in their millions away from traditional law firms and into the arms of EY and the like, leaving traditional law firms in the dust. Now I want to tell you a story about my handbag. This is my newish Louboutin handbag. I spent ages looking for a handbag that was just this size, shape, colour and would afford suitable social credibility when posted on Instagram. I'm not even ashamed of that sentence. So when I found this bag in the Harvey Nichols sale, I was absolutely delighted. And for the win, it also goes perfectly with my Louboutin shoes and my Louis Vuitton belt. However, I'm not quite at peace with it, and I'll explain why. It's because this bag is made by a shoemaker and not by a handbag maker. And every time I pick it up, I look at the stitching and wonder if it's coming undone, and I polish up the buckle because I think it's going to be tarnished. And I'm inherently sceptical about its quality and durability. And that's not because I think Mr. Louboutin made this bag himself. I'm fully aware that he would have procured the best designers and the best manufacturers in handbag making to make this bag. But it's because Mr. Louboutin's proven and established track record and reputation is in shoemaking and not in handbag making. Now let's go back to the big four accountancy firms. You can probably see where I'm going with this now. So, big four accountancy firms, yes, bright, shiny, new, can offer legal services potentially more efficiently and more cheaply than traditional law firms. However, if I'm a consumer and I have a legal issue with either my business, which is incredibly important to me, or my personal life, which is even more important to me, then I'm not necessarily looking for the quickest and the cheapest. I'm looking for the best. Now, before anyone gets upset, I'm absolutely not saying that the big four accountancy firms won't provide the best quality legal services, because EY in particular, we all know I'm a huge fan of EY, have enlisted some super heavyweight big city lawyers who 100% know what they're doing and are very unlikely to screw it up. But what I am saying, which is factually accurate, is that the big four accountancy firms do not have a proven, established track record and reputation in providing legal services. And that's actually pretty important in the mind of a consumer. So I think what I'm trying to say here is you will be reading a lot of hype in the news about alternative business structures and these types of firms potentially overtaking legal services and the death of traditional law firms as we know it. However, in my opinion, this is not the case, and I think traditional law firms are here to stay because there will always be a demand from consumers for the big law firms who have an established reputation and track record in providing legal services. But what they do need to do is up their game considerably in light of the increased competition provided by these alternative business structures, which most law firms are already doing anyway. The other thing that I wanted to highlight in this article was the importance of reading beyond the headlines. For every article that you read, there will almost certainly be an agenda being pushed, either by the publication or by the writer, depending on what their own personal preferences are. So every time you read an article, and for every argument that's made in that article, I want you to think about the counter arguments and think about the issue as a whole, and you will be a much more well-rounded, well-educated and well-respected professional if you adopt this strategy. Also, what I wanted to point out is the comment section. If you ever read an article online and there is a comment section underneath, absolutely read this section, because here is where you will find a lot of the counter arguments and the balanced view of the issue. And you'll probably find a lot of industry professionals and experts commenting, so you might even find some people to follow and connect with. Okay, that's it. That's why I think the legal services market is like my handbag. Feedback welcomed as always, and I will catch up with you in my video next week. Bye guys.